Hi everyone, welcome to the Dice Tower. My name is Chrissy. I'm going to be showing you Grease Lightning. If I enjoyed this game at all, I would have put together like a sweet, cool musical little production kind of a thing, but no. The best part about this game is the title, Grease Lightning. I kind of got a chuckle out of it. I'm going to show you how to play it and why to avoid it. Here's the 4-player setup for a game of Grease Lightning. Now, depending on the number of God Power card that you're dealt with this teeny number here, that'll determine who gets to set out their ship here first. We're racing around the Hydra, as the ancient Grecians did. We're going to be trying to complete 2 laps. There's a lap counter over here, and there's little boat tokens. They don't fit in the space very well, because why should they? We're trying to complete 2 laps, and the first player to do so will win the game, or if multiple people do, whoever has finished going the furthest amount of spaces. This is a bit of a push your luck game here, so the last person who puts their ship out will get the Golden Fleece theme, and they will get a little bonus to the roll here. So how this game works as a little push-your-luck racing system, you're going to roll your navigation die, which is this white pearlized one, and then you'll also get to roll one of your blue dice. I recommend rolling them at the same time, because why would you roll them separately? So I rolled a 2 on this. It's a little bit hard to see on camera, but it looks real good in person. So I rolled a 2 there, and then a 1. Now, the push-your-luck factor here is that I could choose to roll my second die, or just keep what I've got over here. Since I cannot roll lower than a 1, I will not bust, so I'm going to go ahead and roll. Perfect, I got a 3. That is higher than a 1. So I'm going to look at my total here, so I have a 2 plus 1 plus 3, so I get 6 movement. If and only if you are the player with the Golden Fleece, you get to double the navigation die here. This is just a 1, 2, or a 3 die, twice. So, you know, I've simulated other players over here. So I did this. The next player over here, the white boat, rolled a 3 on their navigation die, the highest, a 4, and then they rolled a 6. If they had rolled lower than a 4, they would bust, and they would not be able to keep either of these dice. They would only use the navigation die, but they lucked out. This player rolled the exact same number, so they're fine. And this poor player over here rolled a 1 on the navigation die, rolled a 4, they felt lucky, and then they rolled lower than a 4. So they spent one of their 2 starting fish to re-roll the die, still rolled lower than a 4, spent the other fish, still rolled lower 4, so they busted. So these 2 dice do not get to count for navigation, they get 1 movement on their turn. It's fun for them. So now we're going to go ahead and in clockwise order do our movement. I get 6 movement. This is the black boat here, so I get to go 1 space, and I resolve the effect on there. I get to draw a wedge that I will then place out on my next turn. 2, excellent. Now I've hit this Charybdis whirlpool, so based on whether my navigation die is a 1, a 2, or a 3, I will follow a certain path. In this case, I will follow the number 2 path, because that's what my navigation die shows. 3, 4, I'll grab another one of these. Oh, but you can't grab too many in a higher player count game. 5, 6. Oh! I landed on a crack at Hydra space. That means I have to pay a fish if I have it. So I paid a fish, it's gone, and you know, that's my turn. Now I could have spent my starting God power to have chosen whatever path I wanted to out of this Charybdis whirlpool, but no. So anyway, now let's look at a better turn over here. This player, the white boat, rolled a 13. So they're going to go 1, 2. Wait, they get 3 extra movement. Let's keep that in mind. So now instead of a 13, they get 16. 3, they get to draw a God Power card. Fantastic. 4, 5, 6. Oh, they hit my boat, so they're going to skip over it. 7, 8, drawing another God Power card. We'll keep these to the same. 9, 10, drawing a wedge. 11. Okay, so they hit one of these Charybdis whirlpools, so they're going to get to move on navigation path 3, because that's what their die shows. 8, 7, 8, something like that, right? Oh, they get 3 more movement. 9, 10, they have to pay a fish to the Hydra. 11, pay a fish. 12, They get to go on this path up here. 13, 14, get a fish. 15, get a fish. 16, get a fish. 17, draw God Power. I think they're out. 17. Let's see. Do they hit? Yeah, they hit because they got the extra +3. 18, you got to pay a fish, but also they crossed this line, so they get a fish, and they also draw God Power and a wedge. But I think that they're overloaded. 18, so they pay the fish. There you go. Hey, look, they finished one whole lap on their first turn, and I moved to there. And then, of course, when we get around to the red player, they get to go 1. And that's their turn. So anyway, when it comes back to you, you can resolve your God Powers, you can place wedges out. You can place these wedges out however you want. So when it came back to my next turn, I could place this over on top of one of these pieces, or I could put it anywhere else where there's not like an active player boat. So I could do this, and I could really change up the course. Yeah, I've changed up the course. And the rulebook says to stack them up, and that you can stack up multiple of these onto each other if you want to, because heaven forbid you just take the wedge out and then slide that in there for any reason. Okay, anyway, that's how you, that's the rules. I really did not enjoy playing Grease Lightning, which is, I don't know, it looks kind of cool. That's probably one of the other nice things I could say about the game, is that it has a cool idea, the lapping around the Hydra, I guess, right? But like you can change up the paths because the sea lanes are going to be changing, whatever. That's not a bad idea, boat race and everything. Like I said, the title I got a little chuckle out of because it was Greek ships and stuff. But golly, I didn't even do so in the rules overview. I forgot that the white boat, as it was moving around, as it completed a whole lap on their first turn, I forgot to play their little God Power card that gave them 3 more movement steps. And you might say, Chris, you set that lap up perfectly for that player. No, I didn't. I set up the opening pieces as they recommend in the red chunks, yellow chunks, blue, and then green. Those 3 together, and you make the board. And I found the most favorable path. And the thing is that one of the players is going to find the most favorable path. They put their boat out first. And if they start in front of a +3 movement, and if they have any decent roll at all, first turn, they're so far gone. The person who won this game, the first game of it, they won in 3 turns, and half the people hadn't even finished their first lap. When you have a racing game, if your mechanism is to roll a die and there's a 1 through 6 possibility, that's not very fun because a 6 is 6 times better than a 1. But if you have a racing game where the possible movement ranges from 1 to 20? That's less fun. Busting in this game feels so terrible. And it's all based on the die roll. Maybe you spend the fish, right, to re-roll that die. But then if you move into a Kraken, or the Hydra space, and if you can't pay it a fish, you stop moving. There's so much stuff going on every movement. You move a space, pick up a fish, move a space, feed a fish, move a space, pick up a god card, move a space, nothing, move a space, make a decision based on your die roll, go different paths and stuff. Move a space, feed a fish, move a space. I have to feed a fish, but I'm out of fish, so I stop. That's not cool. Oh, also, by the way, there's production issues with this game. So on top of the fact that I thought it was a little bit too swingy and kind of wild, I thought, well, maybe I can get past that because, I enjoy chaotic racing kind of games. I'm fine with that. But there's literal issues. This one here has a whirlpool on it, one of those Charybdis whirlpool spaces that doesn't have the red dot that they used to indicate on every other tile that you're supposed to stop there and count that. So very first game, this is one of the early tiles because it's like a red starter tile, and we looked at it and said, does that count as a space or not? We looked it up in the rule book, and there's no explanation for it. Therefore, this is probably supposed to have the dot on there, and it's inconsistent. I dropped this tile. I'm going to pick it up because I'm angry about it. I'm going to throw it on the ground again, and then I'm going to pick it up. This one is a whirlpool, but it has no arrows. It doesn't show you... Why is it a whirlpool? You always get to choose if there's branching paths, but this one has a whirlpool symbol on it, and it doesn't have It doesn't force you to go different paths if you have a navigation symbol, or feeding fish. You have to pay 1, 2, 3 fish or whatever if you want to go the different routes. There's plenty of whirlpools that do that. This one just is a whirlpool symbol for no reason. There are many tiles in this stack of them. Like, about half of these have some sort of misprint or some sort of unexplained thing to it. That bothers me. The game looks cool. I like the little kind of pearlescence or whatever to the dice. And I think the theme is so silly and funny and zany. Let's make this fun, zany racing game. This wasn't developed. Put it back in the oven. It's not done yet. Don't purchase Grease Lightning. It's not a complete game. I don't like it. I did not have fun with the fact that one player finished a whole lap on their first turn, and I busted. Oh, that explanation of the turn there. That's pretty much a copy, like a carbon copy of the last game of what happened. So anyway, I'm giving this game obviously a low score. I'm going to give it a 3. Don't base it on my number. Base it on the fact that I specifically said I would not buy this game if I were you. If you want a silly, funny, raucous, laughing game, go get any of the other really great ones. Get Camel Up or something. You know, that one's just miles better than this. Leagues better, one might even say. Anyway, I'm out of here. I'm done. I'm Chris, Dice Tower. Thanks for watching. I'm out.